Page 135, this is the first lesson in Unit 10. Here we're going hot and heavy on these chords and stuff. I think a lot of this is going to be on first inversion. Well, I'm sure we'll get into second inversion too. Inversion is when you're turning it over. All right. At the bottom of page 135, they have you playing the triads in the key. Any key. They're showing F major there, and that's fine. And they're giving you the Roman numerals, and all this it works the same in all the keys. This gets repetitive after a while. So in F major, you have one flat, B flat. And you're just playing the notes in F major. And they give you the Roman numerals, and it works out that way. Remember, 1, 4, and 5 are the major ones. 1, 4, 5. And then the others are either minor or diminished, and only the 7th is diminished. So 2 is minor, 3 is minor. Remember, we did 4 and 5 already. And 6 is minor, and then 7th is diminished because it's got a minor third and a minor third, and then 1. All the keys work the same way. Now on page 136 at the top, they're showing you the inversions, starting with first inversion. As far as recognizing the inversions in the music, I have not yet found a need for that. I just play the notes given. But it's nice to be able to look at a group of notes like that and be able to just play it as one thing rather than trying to figure them out. And this pattern here, and then when you go to an inversion, you're putting the C on top. You're inverting it. You're turning it over. Well, now you have 2 notes here, so the feel is different. So in second and first inversion, there's a couple notes between the top 2 notes, and that's what we're doing here. Here. So that is a 1 chord. Now remember, the bottom note can only identify the chord when it's every other note. It's got to be in root position. So when you go to an inversion, the bottom note no longer identifies the chord because you got 2 notes here, and that's now. But this is still a C chord. First inversion. That's what they're doing there, is first inversion. Here, look on, it's the second line of music they're giving you. It's the here, and then here, and then here. You're going from root to first inversion, and then root, you're going up there. That's nice, but I don't use that fingering, and when I run across this in music, I use the extended position because this lets me use the root and the first inversion without moving my hand. And I would do that. That's how I would actually finger them in the music. This is a good exercise, though. You want to develop that feel. Here, I find it a little confusing myself, but you're probably already confused, so it doesn't make any difference. Now, at the bottom of the page, they do second inversion. Well, you just take first inversion and do it again, turn it over, here. So now you got 2 notes here, and the bottom 2 separated. So this is a 1 chord, and the key is C major in second inversion. That's all it is. Yeah, okay. On page 137, they have all the inversions where you're going here, first, second, root, and back down. Not fine. Actually, when I get this kind of a pattern in music, I don't finger them that way. I don't want to move my hand around that much. I use the extended position and all of it. So the first one is here, then I'm moving for this one, because I can cover all those notes in inversions with just moving my hand 1 time. So it's here, and then the next one it's here. How I would typically do it in music, but this is good practice to do this because it helps reaffirm the feeling of the position of the hands in doing these inversions. Now, the bottom of the page, don't run away yet because this is starting to get in there. The Roman numeral identifies the chord number. In C major, a 1 chord, an I is Roman numeral for 1, a 1 chord. Now we can identify the inversions by using little numbers next to the Roman numeral, and that tells you which inversion to use. First inversion is here, And you see in the example they give here, they're giving you the interval of the other notes, the relation. Because in first inversion, they're all in thirds. Here and here, it's a third. And there's a fifth here. But when you go to an inversion, that's not true anymore. I got a third here, but I got a fourth here, and it's a sixth between them. So what we do is, first inversion, they simply give you the sixth for this. So when you see a Roman numeral with a 6 behind it, it's first inversion. You just memorize it. You couldn't do a 3-6. You can do a 3 and a 6 both. It's a relationship of the other notes to the bottom note. But we normally just leave off the 3 and just use the 6. Then in second inversion here, again, there's a 4 and there's a 6 here. It's the relationship, the interval of the two notes to the bottom note. A 4, an interval of a fourth, and an interval of a 6. Here we do use both, because if we didn't, if you only have the 6, 3 is implied. That's first inversion. This is here 6-4, so it's a 1-6-4. That means a 1 chord second inversion. A 1 chord where you have the 6th, the distance, the interval between the top and bottom note is a 6. That means here or here. It's one of these two. It could be first or second inversion there. But when you do the 1-6-4, the 4 is the interval of the lower. See, the 6 is the big one and the 4 is the lower. So now it's a 4. So the interval of the bottom two notes in the chord is a fourth, an interval of a fourth. And that's second inversion. And then the 6. You can almost leave off the 6 and just do 4. But they do the 6-4. So we have root is all by itself. And then we have a 1-6 and then a 1-6-4. So it tells you which inversion to use. So if you were struggling trying to understand the interval numbers now, you're going to have a ball, because now we've got to add more numbers to it.